What is up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Dad's Rad freaking Fords. Got my boys Noah T-Bird behind me. Finally got her back in the shop. What are we doing? Well, need some work. I needed ball joints, tie rods, basically all the front end stuff. Was pretty hammered on it once we got into it. When we first got it over here, we're goofing with it, got it lowered. I noticed that basically the front end was slap wore out. So we got all that in the car. He got him a kit off the internet. It's got like ball joints, tie rods, upper control arms, sway bar links, pretty much all that we need in the front. He's also got him some marker lights. Actually, I think Maddie got them for him for his birthday or something. So these are busted. We'll put some marker lights in there. I'm gonna try to sand and see if we can finish these headlights, make them look a little better, try a couple of tricks. Yeah, other than that, it needs an idle air control motor. When it's cold, it kind of wants to stall going out of gear. So this video, we're gonna get the front end rebuilt. He's got new tires on the way. Yeah, actually, I had some rear tires for him that were a little wider, and he's ordered 2 new front tires. So yeah, he's about to be stunting this thing. We also got a hood because the hood is smashed. So yeah, let's hit the intro and we'll get into working on this thing. Yeah, see the beak on this old bird's a little smashed up, but luckily we got him a freshy hood outside, and just needs to be color matched because the hood that we got, you can see this one is pretty caved in right on the beak of this old bird. But we got him a nice hood. It's white, so we'll either prime it black or maybe we just rattle can it emerald green and try to buff the car. I don't know what we're gonna do, but get it looking better, get it road ready. Okay, so here we are. Got this up in the air, tires off. I don't know if you can see that movement, but inner tie rod cooked. I know I'm shaking the camera. Pretty much all the, see that movement? Ball joints cooked. So I'm going to get this one side blown apart. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's just outer tie rod. I'm gonna take the spindle. I'm gonna take the whole spindle all the way off the car because we got to do lower ball joint, upper control arm, inner outer tie rods, and the sway bar link back here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blow one spindle, get it completely apart, and I'll show you once I got it apart. You hear that? Get that thing for me. It's just my old shop cat. Look at that thing. Okay, so we got our passenger side front suspension completely torn apart here, obviously minus the strut and stuff, but torn apart pertaining to what we're doing. Lower ball joint, sway bar link, which they had both been replaced. They weren't in too bad a shape, but we've got all new parts I'm able to put on there. Inner tie rod, which was fine also. Outer tie rod, upper ball joint, which is cooked. So yeah, it looks like the kit even comes with new boots for the inner tie rod. So yeah, we'll get over here and show you what we got. So like I said, we got kind of a whole internet special kit, eBay, Amazon, just has everything all in one thing. Looks like some pretty decent parts. There's a lower ball joint. Yeah, like I said, it comes with boots for and clamps for the inner tie rod. Pretty nice. This, I think, is the outer tie rod end. Doesn't say. I think it's an outer tie rod. Here's an inner. Sway bar link is going to be one of these deals here. That's an outer tie rod. So then this sway bar link, outer tie rod, inner tie rod, lower ball joint, and upper control arm. Not sure which side this is. Probably does not say. We'll just have to match them up. Anyways, basically, we got everything we need. Put this back together. So let's get to it. Okay, going back together, the first thing I want to put in is this upper control arm. It stuffs up in here like this. The bolts go from the inside It goes up in here in this pocket, and the bolts go from the inside, but you have to get the nuts from under the hood. So I'm gonna leave the car down a little bit, try to get this control arm kind of worked in roughly where it goes. Get at least one bolt started. It's kind of tricky. There's one bolt. This one on the back side is a pain in the butt. Now you got to go up top here. See, now this is the bolt we just stuck in. Now it's poking out up here into the hood. All you T-Bird guys probably already know this, but these 89 to 90, what are these cars, y'all? 96, 97, 97. 97's last year. Are gonna be like this. This was kind of this is an all brand new platform for Ford when it came out. So there's a lot of different, lot of stuff they were trying, different stuff. It's definitely a different chassis car than any other Ford. You kind of gotta do this completely blind. Show them back there how buried this, it's, see it way, there it is. See it down there? That nut right there? It's kind of a pain in the butt. But once you get it started, not that big of a deal. And what you'll probably have to do is just like hold tension against it from the inside while you just ratchet it all the way in. Here comes the forearm pump. Yes, still wrenching, same bolt. Oh, that's that one, and yeah, that's the front one. All right, so we got our upper control arm bolted up. Now I'm ready to put the lower in. And you see I got my ball joint press kit. Found some adapters that fit the ball joint. I've got the ball joint in there, and I'm basically just going to run this forcing screw. Just like that. Now, there's our ball joint installed. We'll put the boot back on there and grease fitting and ready to rock. So I'll probably move on to, I'll put the boot on there and I'll get the spindle hung, and then I'll pick you back up when I'm doing the inner tie rod, and we'll get our sway bar in link. It's pretty rudimentary stuff, pretty straightforward and simple, but I'll show you the quick process of it. Okay, so putting the inner tie rod end on is stupid simple. It's threads in here, thread it all the way up. Until it's snug. And it's an item that is really hard to torque down and whatnot. If you've got a huge pair of pliers or a large adjustable, that's what I use. Just do the German torque method, good and tight. If y'all are familiar with that, good and tight. And good and tight. So I mentioned the kit came with new inner tie rod end boots, but we will not be able to use these because they don't have the provision for this little vent tube that goes from boot to boot. If you guys are familiar with that, there's no, so this must just be like a generic inner tie rod boot kit they send. Like I said, it's an internet special kit, which is exactly what we needed for this job. Okay, got our boot installed, got the little vent tube in there. We're gonna just slide our little hose clamp. These hose clamps are kind of tricky sometimes, but slide our hose clamp on up on here, like that. So there's that. And now let me grab my phone, we'll show them real fast. So let's put this jam nut on there and let me show you. I always take a picture, show them that. That's my measurement of where the nut to the end of the tie rod end is. So I have some sort of a reference when I'm going together with the new one. I can get this to thread back on. And then I'll wind up just grabbing my handy dandy tape measure. And we will just approximately match this measurement on my phone, which looks like about 2 1/8. So we're looking for about, granted, this is probably old 94 Ford original tie rod end versus this mass-produced aftermarket one. So now this is not precise. Yes, the car will still need to be aligned, but this will get it to where you can, that looks like pretty close to 2 1/8 to me, huh? Close enough. Looks about like it. This will at least get it to where you can put your car together in the driveway if you're doing this in your driveway or wherever, and at least put it together, drive it normal to the alignment shop. Try to put everything back as close as you can. Otherwise, it's a pain in the butt for the alignment guy. For you to get it to the alignment guy, it's going to drive like crap. So I try to put everything, you know, a measurement somewhat close so we're in the vicinity where we need to be. You can drive it down the road. Something happens, you can't get it aligned for like a week or so because of scheduling. You're not going to completely kill your tires and put it in the ditch. Anyways, you get my point. New outer tie rod end going on. Comes with a new jam nut, a grease fitting, cotter pin, everything you need to put it on. Starting us a trash pile. So since we've already got our jam nut, we don't need that. So we're just simply going to thread this on. I know I said I was going to put the spindle on first, but I figured it'd be a little clearer and a little more room. Go ahead and thread all this stuff together. Now we can put our spindle on, sway bar link, and this side is done. This stuff's pretty simple. My opinion, most suspension work is pretty well cut and dry, pretty simple, but figured we'd run through this because these T-Birds are a little different, especially if a lot of my Ford guys out there, if you're used to Fox chassis stuff, Fox, SN, New Edge, totally different. Totally different stuff. All right, I'm gonna run it till it stops there, and now I'm pretty much ready to set my spindle on and grab my light. I love these little puck lights if you guys out there using them, but the worst thing is like, sticking right there, they're magnetized, and then the light goes dead, you forget about it. I think I'm on about this might be 4 or 5. Because I keep donating them to customers' cars. So my customers that are watching, y'all go out in the driveway, and you might have a free flashlight attached to your car. Okay, we're all back together. Passenger side, new ball joint down there, sway bar end link is in. Sway bar end link bolted up. We're all good here. Inner and outer tie rod, upper control arm, pinch bolt back in. Sorry for the glare from the light, just trying to show y'all. We're all back together. Might need to give all this a little rattle can reman action, a little mist of some black paint all up in here to make everything look fresh. And I'm gonna move to the other side, jam it out, and probably put you on a time lapse so you can watch that live action or time lapse live action, and we're gonna knock this thing out and get done. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of dusted some black paint on some things. It's not gonna dry that shiny. I just literally just sprayed it, but yeah, just better than all the nasty rusty spindle. Just kind of clean it up just a little bit. Once you put the wheel on, you see all this behind the wheel, it won't look so nasty and rusty. So yeah, just give all of our opponents that we don't got a nice shiny part, then this rusty upright, and you know, just looks a little more uniform. It'll look nice. We'll clean his inner fenders, tire shine those up, and it all look nice and shiny black in here. It looks better already. Look at that. That's looking much nicer compared to this. See? That or that? Ooh, much better. Okay, so I'm gonna jam this part out, get this side knocked out, get this thing back on the ground, and see if we can tackle any other little things that needs tinkering on this thing while we got it in the shop. I'm trying to get this thing literally ready for daily driving status for my boy Noah. He is ready to cruise this thing. He freaking deserves it. He's MVP. I'm ready to get him ripping with the rest of us. All right, this side is done. Tie rod, ball joint, sway bar link, rattle can reman. Looking good, looking good. Freshened up some black under here. Like I said, we'll clean his fender wells, tire shine him. He'll be stunning. Got our bird back on the ground. Fresh corner lights, all fresh suspension. I kind of wiped off the wheels and the fender, get it looking right. Yeah, Noah ready to ride. No more busted parking light. Front suspension is safe to drive. He's got him 2 front tires coming. They're actually a little bit shorter. We've got a little bit wider and taller tire for the back and a little bit shorter and narrower tire for the front. Give it a little stagger, give it a little nice little rake. Okay, I'm probably going to end this video right here. Me and this Thunderbird, Noah about to be cruising with us, and I'm excited, man. I'm pumped. Okay, so finally got that list of stuff. There's a couple of little finicky things I need to do, like the door panel needs to be kind of fixed up. Idle air control motor, I got one of those coming, but yeah, thing looking nice now. Fender all spray waxed up. We'll get his hood swapped out, see what we're gonna do with that. But for now, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. We're one step closer to get another bird on the road and cruising with us. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, drop some good comments. Stay tuned for more RAD Ford content.